Me did ya. I'm discovered for Europe. I come a bush for Ghana. No, me used to tap send. Tap send. No fee mobile money transfer. Eye easy, eye convenient, eye fast, and sounds so free. Won't you share? Me discover ye map him. Tap send. Intienne. Also download the tap send app. No, every mobile phone so free. Let us come a bush for Ghana for na. Tap send. Papa no.
Hey, come if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to House of Content Ghana. Subscribe. You can't come and be going and be coming. Subscribe. Kindly subscribe. Click on it. Yes. Now go to the notification side. Click on that one too. Now share the content. Now go to the comment section. Start typing anything you want.
Advice now more than my youth. My men started with Mensa.
Give up. Give up.
Advice out of my youth.
Don't bother yourself.
Welcome to this episode of Yawaoftheday. My name is Sheldon and the head is big for a reason. Now, this episode of Yawaoftheday is brought to you by Tap Send. Now, Mr. This country, things they happen, and some of the decisions when people up there they take, the decision they make sense, and from all indications, the decision they have taken, they make sense. But you see, then go flop them, then go come back and give excuses, and the authority responsible for making sure certain are done appropriately, they will keep quiet because I don't understand. It just doesn't make sense. People do all sorts of stupid things like nothing. And instead of them to be fired, instead of them to resign, they will still be at post. Now, the Minister for Health, Ghana when I COVID nonsense and all those things. The minister or the Ministry of Health, led by the Minister for Health, they ventured or they entered into a contract agreement with some Sheik to deliver Sputnik vaccines to us. Now the factory price will be I think $10 or something. Through the Sheik, it be $19. As to how that deal went through and all those things, I don't know. So they went ahead, signed the deal. The Sheik was supposed to deliver a specific number of vaccines to us. You understand? Now, we deliver half, the rest, no fit. You understand? So so it's been back and forth with them now. So the contract has been terminated. The Minister for Health, was queried. And proud to that, that's not minority in Parliament, Obama Tabeka said no. So $19 vaccine, of course, somebody did get something from somewhere because factory price is $10. How do you go through a Sheik to go and get this thing at an exorbitant price? And you have money to pay that. So the minority demanded a probe into it. I don't know how or where the whole probing nonsense happened or it happened. I don't know where it passed. Now, the Minister for Health was queried or he was invited to a bipartisan whatever committee to answer some question. And when they put it to him, do you know his explanation? He wasn't thinking right when he entered into that agreement with the Sheik.
Did you seek parliamentary approval before you entered into this contract?
No, please.
You did not.
Do you appreciate the fact that the pronouncement by the Supreme Court vis-a-vis the constitutional provision clearly talks about prior approval? You appreciate that?
Honorable, very much so. But my frustrations to try to get a vaccine for us at the heat of our second wave, I relied on the Executive Instrument 61 that was passed by Parliament to hide behind emergency clauses that have been invoked to try to see if I could do that and come to Parliament to inform Parliament that this is what I have done and therefore need regularization. I need approval to cover it because we were in dire need of the vaccine, and I had the onus to try to procure the vaccines to vaccinate Ghanaians to protect our lives. Honorable Chair, I must be very honest with you. At the time, I've mentioned my frustration was the fact that I seriously made that error, and on hindsight, it won't happen any longer.
You are aware of how we deal with emergency situations in Parliament. We have conventions and rules and regulations governing how you deal with emergency issues, i.e. appearing before the relevant committee and make a case so that the issue can be dealt with as an emergency issue. Why didn't you take advantage of that procedure?
That those were not normal times, and I was seriously in the situation that couldn't make me think properly, the way you think that now I will actually address myself to the situation.
Mr. Minister, are you aware that we have dealt with issues and motions on the same day before on the floor of the House in this House? And let me give you examples. You remember the 1.2 billion and the $100 million from the World Bank? We dealt with it the same day. Couldn't you have done that?
I could have done that, but the circumstances at the time was a little bit different.
You have laid evidence before this committee that you used your best efforts to get diplomatic channels to enable you reach the manufacturer or the Russian authority directly. Is that correct?
Yes.
You even did so by producing letters as evidence of such correspondence. Is that correct?
That's correct.
You further indicated that it was after all those best endeavors have proved futile before you dealt with the Sheik. Is that correct?
Might not be correct. I dealt with the Sheik before the frantic efforts to try to get the vaccines from the right source.
So, were you being untruthful to this committee when you indicated that you used your best efforts to get direct access to the manufacturer and the Russian authorities before you dealt with the Sheik?
I can't remember I have said this. Anyway, what I said was that I made efforts, but I didn't just oppose the timing of the efforts that I made.
Yes, a minister of state, minister for health, or say he wasn't thinking right. And if you weren't thinking right, and as a Sheik, a DD no better and I think he in you see, the man is still at post. The Minister for Health, Mr. Kwaku Agyemang Manu, he was once the chairman of the Public Accountability Committee. Who said that he is still at post. He wasn't thinking right. Ladies and gentlemen, your Minister for Health wasn't thinking right. Oh God.
Why didn't you take advantage of that procedure?
That those were not normal times, and I was seriously in the situation that couldn't make me think properly, the way you think that now I will actually address myself to the situation.
Give up, oh. Give up. Give up. Because, see, this man is still at post. I wasn't thinking right. That is your excuse. What enter into a contractual agreement with someone? The person has refused to deliver the vaccine and all the enter into a vaccine agreement. You are buying vaccines at exorbitant prices and all those things. When this man was called to a committee to explain why these things are happening now, or say he wasn't thinking right, he's still at post. Now, Bibini cry, then we are saying. Bibini then we are saying. Where are the poor man ye? Where are the poor man ye? Ladies and gentlemen, if you be any serious country, oh, Kabana cry, you resign, ya pamo. He's still at post. Yes, son, so. Do you know what him not thinking right could have done to the country? If him not thinking right, do you see what have you seen the result? So imagine the rest of the ministers too, they are not thinking right into and they are entering into a contract. Look at how the country is being run. The country is being run on people not thinking right. Ladies and gentlemen, Obampaya Bobima Ghana for any leaders now. The way of mine, it is sad, it is pathetic. You are not thinking right. Minister, call for health, Sean Sim. Right now, the vaccine, them terminate the contract with the Sheik. Now, you are never Sheik when you're vaccine. Sheik. Yeah, and your corona about na shake one your top. Me say, oh, the people at the top there. Me say it be sad. Me sometimes when you think about the indecisiveness of our leadership, the leadership we have in this country, I go like, what the hell are we doing? They bought it at $19. $19 per vaccine, a bottle. No. As compared to the factory price now, no mere $10 no, because they claim say now a Sheik they say you go expedite the process because you see this country, I wasn't thinking right. I should print it in a shirt. Yes, I was not thinking right. You know, because it be sad, and you see. I have my rantia. I know that this minister is going to be at post until say it be 4 years in the Besona or Moko. There's nothing they are going to do about it. He's still at post. Or maybe be a command. If they are going to do anything and command the dada. No, he's not going to be sacked. This committee thing they are doing, it will be done. We will go back to the normal thing. Then we move. When you did my money, I wasn't thinking right. Guru, I'm fine. So no, yeah, you know. Or you stop that. If something happen, or then we do some. When you go to other countries, I think one of the countries they've been an outbreak or something. They have sacked their minister for health. Ultimately, from Crawford is you do mistake, no, you are fired. Because your job is to make sure that things are done appropriately, the right way. But here, no, the part of this world, no, we don't care. Vice and inshallah. Unko to Sputnik vaccine free Sheik wo. Unyansa. Mr. Man, give up. Give up. Ladies and gentlemen, give up. Because behind your not about green here or this country, it is always about stomach. Any Legon girls. Give up. There's no hope. Sell the country to my share. And once you cram the back or kill it.
How we kill it?
I don't know. Hey, man, can you if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to House of Content Ghana. Subscribe. You can't come and be going and be coming. Subscribe. Kindly subscribe. Click on it. Yes. Now go to the notification side. Click on that one too. Now share the content. Now go to the comment section. Start typing anything you want.
I'm discovered for Europe. I come to for Ghana. No, me used to tap send. No fee mobile money transfer. Easy, convenient, fast, and sounds so free. Me discover my tap send. Also download the tap send app. No, ever mobile phone so free. The first come for Ghana for tap send. Papa no no.